What's up, you guys? We're here with the Sith Lord. Very good. We're going to ask you some questions about Star Wars. Nice. I see you rock the double-bladed as well.
Yes, I did, my lord.
Are you good at spinning?
Somewhat, my lord.
So. We don't want to hit anybody, so I guess we'll skip that for right now. What's your favorite Star Wars character and why?
I would have to say Darth Vader.
Darth Vader. A good choice. What do you think about identity politics being in Star Wars? Do you like it? Like when Kathleen had the Force's female shirt on for that big photo op. What do you make of that?
I mean, to me, that seemed like it was definitely her, that was what the Force meant for her. But the way I see it, the Force has always been an entity that is meant to be interpreted in multiple different ways for everyone. I feel like that was what George intended, and that's the way how I believe it's embodied.
Very well said. What's your favorite Star Wars movie?
The Empire Strikes Back.
That's the right answer. Very good, very good. Best lightsaber duel of all time?
Ooh, that would be between you and Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan in Episode 1.
Another correct answer. Very good. Bob Iger recently revealed in his memoirs that George felt betrayed when they didn't go with his treatments for 7, 8, and 9. What do you think about that? And should they have gone with what George laid out for them when he sold the IP?
It's definitely unfortunate for George, but at the same time, they did acknowledge beforehand that they were free to basically do whatever they wanted with the material. So I understand his disappointment, but at the same time, there's not really a whole lot there could be done for him in that, unfortunately.
It was their decision to make.
Exactly.
Very nice. Are you excited for The Mandalorian?
Absolutely.
What do you think about IG-88?
I hope they make him a really cool character. IG-11 you mean, right?
Is it IG-11?
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, it's not IG-88?
It's not. It's basically, he looks exactly like IG-88, but apparently Disney is making it a different character. Yeah, because they didn't want to mess around with the original character who has his backstory in the comics.
Interesting. Let me see. Moving on to the next page. The writer to Solo, A Star Wars Story, announced to the press before the release of Solo that Lando is now pansexual. What do you think about that, and what do you think about changing a character's identity in a prequel film?
To me, it really wasn't necessary. It's basically equivalent to when J.K. Rowling announced Dumbledore was gay.
Yes.
That's fine. I have nothing against any character who with a different orientation. But did it add anything to the character? No. And at the same time, I also don't see Lando as pan in any sense.
He didn't come across that way in Empire at all.
Absolutely not.
Word. Rian Johnson said he wouldn't change a thing about The Last Jedi. If you could change anything about it, what would you change?
That's a tough one. As much as I really don't like the Canto Bite scene, what I wish could have happened was instead of Luke passing away at the end, I wish we could have seen Luke got up and raised his hand and lifted the X-Wing out of the ocean. I feel like that would have been the perfect ending for that movie.
I think you should have directed it. That would have been amazing. That blows my mind just thinking about that. That would have been really good. And, why wouldn't you have that rhyming with Empire Strikes Back when he raises it up?
Absolutely.
They even show it in the water, why? Anyway. Why do you think it is that in George Lucas's version of Star Wars, you have to train in the Force for years and years and years? In the Disney version, you can learn and master it in 24 hours. Why do you think there's that difference?
I feel like each individual can acquire a skill pretty quickly than others. So in all honesty, I don't really have too much of a problem against it. It's just the only critique I have is for the sequel trilogy is that I want to see Rey experience more of a trial, more of a struggle, and attaining more knowledge.
Some trials and tribulations.
Exactly.
Some character growth. Very good. Let me see. Do you think there's any suspense in a potential third showdown between Kylo and Rey, given that she's already kicked his butt in the last 2 movies?
Honestly, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't really have an answer for that question. I just hope that their next fight actually is well choreographed and really, really good.
Very good. Last question. Mark Hamill said he felt hornswoggled by Disney because of how his character was treated, and he fundamentally disagreed with every choice Rian Johnson made. What do you think about that? What's your reactions?
In a way, it's a lot similar to the George Lucas situation. ultimately they both don't really have a say anymore in what the character does. I just hope that they just do his character more justice in the next movie.
As do we all. Any last thoughts or anything you want to say to Star Wars fans or Star Wars in general?
May the Force be with you all.
May the Force serve you well. Yeah.